And on this series, we are going to be playing a game called Netrunner. Now, Netrunner is a dystopian cyberpunk card game set in a far distant future where one person is playing a mega corporation who is trying to advance and protect their nefarious agendas behind pieces of firewall called ICE, while the other player is playing as a hacker known as a Netrunner who is trying to build a collection of programs and hardware in order to break into the corporation's servers and steal those very same agendas before the corporation can bring them to fruition. It's a really great dynamic game with a lot of interactivity, and it's really, really great. So yeah, thank you very much for checking it out. I've actually been playing Netrunner for over 10 years, which is crazy to think about. I started playing in 2012, and I used to be in a lot of competitive events, but unfortunately I had to fall out for a little bit, got busy. But over the last year, I've been able to play again and go to more competitive events and more local meetups. And I've just really been having a great time. And all of this culminated last year in October when I was able to go to the Netrunner World Championship event that took place in San Francisco, California. So if you've never been before or you're not sure what it is, the Netrunner World Championship is so much more than just the high-level competitive event that determines the world champion. Going into the weekend, there's all these fun side events and all of these other, there's team tournament formats going on, and there's draft tournament formats, and people trying and learning and playing this game in all sorts of different ways. And I was able to go for the first time, my first World Championship tournament since 2018, which was the Magnum Opus from Fantasy Flight Games, and I just had a great time now that the game is being produced by Null Signal Games, and it was just great. It was a great weekend. I got to see my friends and meet up with my friends again, and it's just something that I've really missed, and I didn't really realize just how much I had missed that. So thank you very much for stopping in. I'm really, really stoked to show this game to you and to play it more. And yeah, I'm pretty excited. I think we're gonna get right into it for a little bit. If you don't know anything, really quick, about the game, it is currently produced by Null Signal Games. Netrunner came out and was originally produced by Wizards of the Coast back in the 90s, and then it died when WotC decided they wanted to hold on and only keep Magic, and then it was revitalized in 2012 by Fantasy Flight Games. As I mentioned, 2018 was the Magnum Opus, and ever since then, it's been controlled by a fan-run organization called Null Signal Games, and it was Nisei at the time, but now everything's Null Signal, which is great, and it's all been fan-run by a bunch of awesome volunteers who are very dedicated and very hardworking, and it goes so much more beyond just the rules of the game. They're going to events and going to conventions, getting word of the game out, creating new sets, obviously creating new tokens, new playmats, everything, organized play kits, and really have kept the game going in a way that's almost better than when Fantasy Flight Games had controlled it. So I'm really, really excited to go into it. And this is the Null Signal Games website. If you wanted to check out more, learn more about the game, it's nullsignal.games. And as you see, there's they have a blog kind of format here, and put out a bunch of stuff all the time. Now I'm going to be focused more on playing the startup format. I mentioned before that I have played this game for over 10 years. Yes. However, you might be thinking, oh, you must be really good. And maybe once upon a time it was, but lately I have been out of practice. And Netrunner is a very, very high skill level game. So if you are rusty or you're not playing and keeping that edge sharp, it's really easy to kind of like fall behind the competitive events and the competitive meta. So this channel is being devoted to getting back into it and getting back into playing the game. Every time I've Every time I have the opportunity to play more, I'm always super excited. I have a great time. Always love seeing my friends again and hanging out with them. And really, this is just another great way to do that. So I'm going to be focusing now. Netrunner, if you're familiar with card games, you might be familiar with how many card games have different types of formats. And Netrunner is no different. The two main formats for Netrunner are Standard and Startup. Now, Standard uses a much larger card pool, and it goes including cards from way back in like 2017, I think some cards go back to in the current Standard card pool. So it's huge, and it goes back to when Fantasy Flight owned the cards, owned the game, and everything was being made there. And now with Null Signal, there's another format called Startup, which is what I'm really going to be focusing for the time being. And the reason for that is in the next few months, Null Signal Games is going to go through a really radical change. And I think we're standing like right on the precipice for this game and how awesome it's going to be in the future, because Null Signal is creating a new set called Dawn, or codename Dawn. And when that comes and that is released, all of the old Fantasy Flight Games cards are rotating out of the game. So that means that those cards, which have been a bit difficult to track down, and of course proxies are allowed in Netrunner, which is great, but you know, there's nothing quite like having real cards, and I think the limited availability of those old Fantasy Flight Games cards has made it really hard for people to get in. So I'm stoked that we're going to be moving on and moving forward to the next phase of this game. And the second thing that means is that the card pool is about to get dramatically smaller. And whereas Startup is already on a much more limited kind of card pool, Startup just uses like the last full set, full cycle, and you know, the core box experience. Standard uses all of that plus many, many more. So I'm gonna take a step back from Standard, focus on Startup, and really try and test out some cards that people might not necessarily be playing, or that might be, you know, not the strongest in the meta right now. I kind of want to try and get prepared for when the game comes out or when the game, gets re-released or, you know, revitalized in a few months with that release. So I really am looking forward and trying to focus on getting better. And I really hope you guys stick around and learn and hang out. And really the objective is just to learn and get better and hang out and play Netrunner. So as long as we're able to do that, I'm going to see this as an absolute win. And if you have any questions at all, maybe I'm skipping over something or I said something that didn't make sense, feel free, ask me a question. Let's get it sorted out. And you know what? Sometimes I might not make the best plays, but I'm learning too, and we're going to find those mistakes together. So I'm stoked. Now, the first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to load up a deck. I have two startup decks that I'm going to be playing today. And the first one is this Arsana deck. This is very, very experimental. There's a lot of weird stuff if you're familiar with the game that you might be seeing, like emergency shutdown isn't something that we typically see because it's, well, honestly, Ari, I don't think I've seen a lot in Startup because a lot of the viruses or Trojans, that you want to play aren't in the card pool or aren't great in Startup. But I've always kind of liked Ari. I think their ability is really, really cool because it lets you install a program, which normally takes one of your 4 actions as a runner. Arsana lets you install a program during a run, like mid-run, which is a very, very unique ability that doesn't exist much in Netrunner. Usually you have to spend your whole action to put a card into play, and she lets you kind of cheat that a little bit and play things out of turn, so to speak, even though it's on your turn. But this is the one I'm really curious about. Some really interesting cards, but this is focusing on the on Sachi to try and get some money when the corp reses ice, and emergency shutdown to try and deny that as well when they, end up getting a bunch of ice on our way to Conduit R&D, because Conduit lets us access more cards. I'm getting in the weeds. Let's just jump in a game and see if we can get something going here, right? So we're playing startup. And let's see here. Cool. So as I mentioned, startup isn't the most prevalent format. So we do have a lot of games. You can see there's 23 games on Jinteki. We will be playing all of our games on jinteki.net. Highly recommend. If you want to play online, you know, there's not really a good substitution for playing in person. But Jinteki's a good way to try out decks and see if like you're putting together something that could work in person. So that's, again, why we're going through all of this. And tomorrow I have a meetup that I'm going to be going to. And I am going to be bringing both of these decks with me to the event. Also, I didn't say, I'm a local to the Los Angeles area, so I've been fortunate to have some really great metas, some really great competition. In addition to all of the great folks in the greater LA area, we have folks from Orange County that will go out and play. We'll go to San Diego, and those three areas are already very, very strong. But I've also traveled to Northern California. I've traveled to Arizona for this game. I've even traveled to like New York and Minnesota and Indianapolis. So I've played this game in a lot of different places and a lot of different competitive events. And it's been really good. Again, it's been really, really good to play this game some more and really get into it. So while we poke around here, I'll keep poking back here and trying to check out. Let's talk about, oops. I actually want to swap to runner here to start. Oop, what did we do? Okay, there we go. So we got our deck queued up here. All right, and let's go over to see. So when I was assembling this, really, as I said, the Sachi and Emergency Shutdown is kind of the key. Emergency Shutdown is just a really great card. It's been around since, God, one of the early sets of the game. This is a card that will be rotating out, sadly, but just wanted to try it in RE. I think this is actually in system update, but this set I anticipate will be going away too once Dawn comes out. And we also have some Slap Vandal. This is like Arasana's main breaker. It is a Trojan, so we can install it mid-run and have it stay with Ari's ability. And it has this really special text. It's called an AI. So this can break any type of ice, because normally our programs are limited to one specific type of ice that we can actually break. So Echelon, for example, is going to only going to be able to break a sentry. It's called a killer. And Cleaver here is another example of something that's only going to be able to break a barrier. So these are just kind of typical, a little bit more typical startup cards. I feel like Cleaver is kind of everywhere right now. And with the limited card pool, it's because there is some breakers that just aren't great, or some breakers that have better numbers that match up with certain ice better in the format. So we are hoping that we can really take advantage of it. And this is the weird card, well, another weird card, I suppose, in the deck. It's called Umbrella. Has a really high strength, which is great, but the downside is it can only interact with ice that actually have Trojans on them. So we need to have other cards installed on the ice in order to actually break it, which can be a bit difficult and a bit tricky. And again, this is another one that I think is going to get better in the future with some more card support, but I just want to test it out and see if I can do some shenanigans. I do also think Spree helps eventually in the late game spread all of our Trojans out into places that are most advantageous for us, and you know, we can kind of start to use that to pressure a little bit more and try and find different ways into the servers. But you know, it's going to be a situation that we kind of see how it goes. But Egret in combination with Umbrella is one of the combos that I'm trying to put together here, because Egret makes any piece of ice that is on a barrier, code gate, and a sentry, which would trigger the umbrella text. So umbrella plus egret will break essentially anything with just a little bit of money. But that costs 2 programs, so not so efficient just by that number standards, but I'm hoping that we can use this almost as an AI breaker and use that flexibility in another way to try and make advantage and kind of, you know, pop open some servers in a fun way, can opener some games here. Yeah, so a lot of it is, we do have some startup games going on here, some private startup games. There might be some people testing out some things as well. Bunch of standard games. And if you're not familiar with the game and you want to try just to see what it is, maybe you know something is interesting here and you want to just take a look. This website is jinteki.net. It's free to create an account, free to play the game. They don't spam you, they don't send you anything, and all of the cards are actually available for free directly on this website, and you can play with a full play set of everything. And this is something unlike another collectible card game, maybe you're familiar with Magic or Yu-Gi-Oh or Pokemon, where the cards have a built-in rarity. That isn't the case in Netrunner. It is what is called a living card game, which means at certain intervals a set will come out, and when you purchase that product, you get the entirety of that set. So you get a full play set of 60 cards, we'll say, and you can use those to create the decks in any way, almost any way you want. There are faction systems. There's, you know, 4 different mega corporation factions and 3 different runner factions, and many different IDs within them, and each one has a vastly different type of play style. And like we are seeing with this Ari deck, no other runner that exists lets you install a card from your hand in the middle of a run without spending a click. So that's just one example, and of different things. This is another one. This is a standard deck, but Sebastião Sousa, he's a Anarch, that's the red or orange color here, and he wants to play connections, and he gets benefits from being tagged, which is normally a bad thing in the game. If you get a tag, the corporation knows where you are, and they're going to hunt you down. They don't want you out there. They don't want you to know where their agendas are, and it's just a really dangerous balancing game that you're playing by taking tags. But Seb helps you out because he pushes you forward and accelerates your game and lets you install these connections, which normally let you help build up, or they give you resources, or they help you accelerate further and further into the late game or the mid game as it goes. And we're standing to be a bit unlucky here with fishing for startup, so it is how it goes sometimes. But that is the format that we want to play. So we'll give this another few minutes, and if it doesn't work, then we'll go switch to standard and see what we can get here. But I'd really love to play some startup. I'm not excited to play standard card pool that's going to rotate out, or a huge amount is going to rotate out soon. So we in my local meta have been playing a lot of alternate formats as well. We have some like Jinteki formats, which is fun, where you get to play sets of cards that are outside of what you normally might be able to play. And Netrunner uses this really great influence system to determine how many points. Like normally you can play all of your in-faction cards. So in our Arasana deck, we can play all of the green Shaper cards that we want. But if we want to play a card from a different faction, like we can pull that out. I brought some of them up, like Cleaver. You can see that's that orange Anarch. Or these blue criminal cards, they cost influence. So on the lower right there are a series of pips, and Sachi has 1 out of 5 filled in. So that means one of these, each copy of Sachi costs 1 of our available influence. And our influence for Arasana is 15. And really that's pretty standard. That's a standard number. Most runners do have 15 influence. But you'll find some corps and find some other other factions or other identities that might have a different number. And same thing with the deck size. So the minimum deck size is printed on the card. Again, mostly it's 45. You can see that on the lower left here for Arasana. 45 is her minimum. And that's what you'll see most players playing because it's most efficient, most consistent, and it makes it easier generally to find the cards that you want to look for and you want to play. But sometimes, you know, like corporations, because corporations also have a deck building restriction, corporations might want to play 4 more than the maximum, and that's just because of the way some deck building restrictions work. But oh, I think I just missed someone there, unfortunately. Unless I saw I was live and wasn't interested, but we'll see. I guess I should stick around here. Not get too, oh, nope, they just jumped into a different game. That's fine. That's fine. I can't even open a different tab. I got one monitor, so we're living life here. Okay, so let's see. We're still not seeing anybody here, so I think what I'm gonna do is I might just pop into a standard game, get something going. I'm not expecting. I didn't plan for standard, if I'm being honest with you, friends. So I'm just gonna pull up with that Seb deck that I've been tinkering with back in my local, and maybe we can see if we can get someone into startup in a little bit. But let's just start this and see what we get. So we're gonna run. We are gonna change that to do that, so people knows we're getting into, and we'll start a game. And we'll do this Seb deck. So this is a little bit different, very different kind of build. As you can see, this is not the most consistent deck. Again, even in standard, I'm practicing some things that are trying some cards that don't really see a ton of play all the time. So this one in particular that I have is Boitada, which the numbers aren't bad. I actually think the numbers on this card are pretty good, but the problem is they're not good if you haven't trashed a card. And awesome, so we got somebody. Let's go in there. Hey there. Great. So we're playing against Precision Design, +1 maximum hand size. Whenever you score an agenda, you may add 1 card from archives to HQ. So I'm expecting some type of seamless launch or some advancement shenanigans here in order for them to, you know, take advantage and really speed things along. And on our side, we have some pressure here. I actually like this. We have some money with Daily Cast and Fermenter. We have a way to, we have an Arasaurus crew, which lets us trash ice, which is really, really handy because that's the big thing that this deck wants to do is we don't want to deal with ice. We want to get rid of it. So if we can land that, we're in a good spot. So our HB friend here doing, he is Hottes, Ice, and gain a credit, which seems like a pretty good start. And I think we don't want to put a lot of pressure. I just want to set up. Privileged access is really good. We want to get Daily Cast and Fermenter cooking. So I think we just draw a little bit. I could draw again, but I think I'm not worried. If they play a Gatekeeper, if they res a Gatekeeper or something and spend some money, I'm not super worried. But let's see if we can get them to res some ice. They only have 6 credits. Gatekeeper. This is fine. So they might fix their hand a little bit. Maybe they have some agendas they want to throw back. But this is fine. If we're going to find a Gatekeeper, I 100% want to do it first turn than later in the game when it's a bigger problem. So this is fine. They revealed an Ikawa project, so they shuffled that back. We're just going to get some money down on the board, get our Fermenter and our Daily Cast cooking. So these do kind of a similar thing, but differently. Daily Cast gets us money every time our turn starts, just 2 credits drip, which is really great. Nice passive income. And Fermenter is going to slowly gain strength as the game continues, or not strength, gain virus counters. And those virus counters will in turn become money as long as we spend a click. So they installed a new remote server and protected it, but they still don't have a ton of money. I'm leaning that this is probably a Rashida or something of that nature. But we still don't have a ton of pressure. The Bahia Bands is good for an install and tags, but I think we just want to keep drawing. The Devil Charm's really good. Devil Charm's always good with the crew. Lets us pretty much break into something at any time we want. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're going to have to discard 1 at the end of our turn. I don't particularly want to. So I'm thinking here we're just going to let's actually, you know what? They have 3 credits. They have nothing in archive, so a drafter isn't that bad. Let's see if we can force a res. We have enough to steal Tattoo Bola. All right. So nothing there, but we got to see some information. We could have stolen an Ikawa if that got bounced to the top of the deck. So that's good for us. We want to make sure, especially now that they showed us that we have an Ikawa, it's usually good to assume an HB. But Ikawa costs a credit and a click in order to steal it. So definitely something that we need to watch out for and make sure if we're running, we have on hand. Because otherwise, if we see that and we can't steal it, that's really going to set us back. We need to get something going with this deck quickly, or else it can get away from us. Raising a Spin Doctor in Your Digital Life, Yodel. It's really good. This card came out in the last set. Gain a credit for each card in HQ. And when you have cards that let you draw, like Red Level Clearance or Spin Doctor, and increase the cards in your hand, plus Precision Design already has that +1 hand size. So they're in a good spot to play, to really benefit from Your Digital Life for that 1 influence. And protecting the remote. And overriding spin. Okay. So, signaling here that they are pushing an agenda. With the amount of money and the game state, I would assume that this is probably an off-world office to help them get some credits back. Would be a pretty good spot. Or it is another Ikawa that they have in their hand that they intend to seamless out, and they only have 1. Which is still pretty good, because Precision Design would let them get their seamless launch back after the fact. So what we are going to do is I think we don't have a lot of money, which does make it a little bit hard. I'd love to pressure this server, and we might just be able to do that by playing crew. But if we take a tag for a crew, I don't have a benefit, so I do want cards. All right. So you know what? Let's Bahia Bands archives. And this is going to let us draw a few cards. Man, none of these are what we wanted to do. And let's install the crew. Now, crew costs us 2 credits, and we have 1. So let's gain a credit. Oh, but see, now if it's Ikawa, we don't have a way to get in if we have to use our crew. But let's run... I want to run server 1 and put pressure on them. You know what? Let's see. Let's just see what happens. I'm a bit concerned that this is an Ikawa and we won't have any money. To deal with it. And honestly, I don't want them to have money here either. So I think we'll just let this fire. And not pressure this too much. We could blow it up, but if we blow it up with the crew, it's gonna cost us the crew and give us a tag, which we can't really capitalize on right now because we have no connections in our hand. So I think I'm just going to be a bit passive here and gain a credit. I could click for the fermenter, but clicking it last click feels bad. And it was that off-world office. Yeah, that's totally smart. Really good for them. Gets them back out of that rut. That credit rut that they were in, and puts us quite a bit behind the curve here. I'm leaning on just playing Steel Skin. I really wish we didn't play that Bahia Bands looking back. We probably should have played one of these Steel Skins to draw 3 cards and save the bands for when we tag ourselves, but that wasn't the world we lived in. So let's crew. Okay. We got some options. So Devil Charm's unique, so we can't play another Devil Charm. Avisaris crew is not. And Manuel only helps us when we're actually tagged and we have something. So, man, all right. So I would love to put some pressure on R&D with Manuel. We don't need to show the Awaceris crew. So I think we're going to pop the fermenter. If we pop the fermenter, install Manuel, and run, we will pop fermenter, install Manuel, and run. That's 3 clicks, so we won't have enough to steal the Ikawa. And if we're tagged, I would really want to make sure that we can. But we also have too many cards in our hand. So let's just poke R&D. See if they want to res. They did want to res the drafter. And we could burn it. Where they have Spin Doctor and red level clearance. Yeah, I think we're gonna ruin this. So get rid of the Devil Charm to get -6 strength. We'll trash that. And we will continue and breach. Sudden Commandment, that's a big problem. So this is a combo deck. We have to trash that. Man, I don't think that they're going to be playing hard-hitting news with what we're seeing. So I do really want to click that fermenter, but I would rather have more. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we're going to have to trash. So, okay, we will click the fermenter, and then let's install another thing. Let's install this devil charm, and we end our turn, and that's going to cost us something. I think the eye for an eye can go, although that is pretty good. I want privileged access because that's going to get us our crew back. So yeah, I think we're just going to lose the eye for an eye. In between the privileged access and the Awaceris crew, we should be able to start generating some tags and start getting our Seb ability actually going, which is going to make this hopefully all start to feel better, since I don't think we've triggered our ability. We've been playing with a blank ID, which is never ideal for when you're playing this game. And of course, they're protecting up again. All right. And dumping something else in server 1. So again, we probably need to worry about this. The cleaver could get us through the tattoo, but it gives them money as well. And we could just destroy it. We can play another crew, or we could keep the crew and pressure with the privileged access, but since they don't have threat, the threat text isn't triggering, I think we're going to hold off on that and just play crew cold and run R&D again, and hopefully it's something that we can destroy. So let's go. Let's just see what happens, huh? Play crew, and let's run into R&D and see if we can blow some more stuff up, cause more chaos. Ooh. Another gatekeeper, you say? Well, you know, yeah, screw it. Maybe wanted to keep that and just let the gatekeeper fire, but because those are the only 2 devil charms in this deck, so kind of a low impact, maybe a bit too low impact there. Yeah, I don't think that was strictly right. Not when they have this here. But now we also don't have money, which is another problem. So we can strike fund here a little bit, get our money back up. It's only 3 credits. I just don't think we're gonna run into a situation where we're gonna trash that for free and get free money. So better to just keep it that way. Greasing to install in server 1, install new piece of ice over R&D, which makes sense. I still, let's Steel Skin, just hard play it. Hermes is really good here. We could really hurt their board state. Maybe this is a building turn, because I think we want to play the casts and we want to play the Hermes, make them think twice about potentially scoring whatever's in server 1. And I don't have another thing I want to do here. So let's draw. Okay. And Hermes and daily casts. Get some money going again. Hopefully we can start to rebuild a little bit and get them in a bad spot. This Hermes could really become like a bit of a jackknife and help us like open up be a can opener and get us in somewhere that we have no business getting into. But it could also just cause some more disruption later in the game. We'll kind of have to see. Resing of Tranquility. I'm expecting this deck probably plays this Hospiroid deck. I expect we're going to see some Project Vitruvius, which is a 3/2 agenda, and we're going to, of course, see Illuminal Transubstantiation. So that's 3 Offworlds, 3 Vitruvius, and Illuminal is 614 points. So then probably 2 Ikawa. I think that's going to be their agenda suite. That gets us to 20. Or no, I'm sorry. They probably only play 2 Offworld because it's a smaller deck size. But dumping the 2 cards in Tranquility, so they didn't get the best benefit out of Trank. Where you have a little bit of money, they're protecting R&D. I think we want to just keep on keeping on. This Leech could be really good. I do think we're going to draw again. Let's Leech. I could Crew or Privileged Access to get the Crew, but I don't want them to steal our daily cast or to trash our daily cast. And we can just get rid of this Hermes. So I'm just going to run Archives, get this Leech counter, and get rid of this second Hermes. Because the Leech is also going to be a really good combo. As I said, we don't have more Devil Charms really in this deck, so Leech is going to be the only other way that we have to reduce the strength of the ice to actually let Crew trash them. So the Leech is going to be really, really important as we move forward and we keep hopefully pushing this game plan ahead a little bit. But by no means are we we are not a quick deck by any chance. So we got a lot of interesting install patterns that we have to play with. And yeah, they're just burning through that deck really, really fast. 19 cards left. Another card in Server 1. Advance. So this almost certainly is the Ikawa. I am going to... I think the other card in this Tranquility home grid server is probably going to be a Managarm, which is going to be prohibitively expensive for us to get in. Unless they are also playing around our Hermes by install Advance, which could also be a really valid thing to do here. But either way, I'm feeling like this is protected by a Managarm, which is going to be a bit problematic. Now, we could trash HQ with Manuel. That actually might be the solution. I think getting in... Yeah, you know what? Okay. I think that's going to be our solution. So instead of trying to get in Server 1... let's just ruin HQ a little bit and cause some problems. Because I think... so we'll Seb to install Manuel for free. And then we will install a Crew for free. And now we can run HQ. And we'll encounter. And we're going to use that Crew to trash the Gatekeeper. And we will continue. And now we're tagged. So Manuel is going to get us a few other cards. Seamless. Next activation command. Oh, that's going to be a big problem. That's going to be a big, big problem. So we can't trash it, but I think we're going to run back and hope, because this is whenever. And we're going to see the exact same 2 cards. Let's do it again, shall we? Let's see Seamless launch and next activation. Hey, we saw something different. We're the real winners. Let's go. But we do have some Leech counters, so that'll be good, hopefully. I love the privileged access to be able to get a Leech, because our money is not looking too hot. It was an Ikawa. Okay. So they did also Seamless. So we'll be able to bounce something with our Hermes. They are probably determining what they want to pull back. I expect they're going to pull back a Seamless, but... oh, a Greasing the Palm. Okay, that's fair. That's a good one, too. And I think we are going to pull this outermost and see what they do. Because they could protect HQ again with the click, because we did trash what was there, but they could also use it... Oh, they're greasing. Okay, so they're going to grease something else out there. Okay. So not worrying about the game being in HQ, which is probably a fair point. Now, if what's behind this tattoo is a barrier, we're not in a bad spot. They did also trigger... Okay. We could also privilege access. Oh, but I don't think we were going to have clicks then, unless we spend 5, which we do not have money for if we're going to be trashing stuff. Let's give a quick think here. Because I do expect this to be a Managarm, which means 5 credits and 2 clicks. So if I run archives, if we run archives, click 1, and then click 2, we run server 1. We'll have the 2 clicks, but we won't be able to get our Valentina. So, which I guess probably isn't... Oh, play only if you aren't tagged. So we do need to play Valentina. So we would need to play Valentina. I think we just got to send it and hope and put pressure there. But I don't think we can get in. So Valentina's click 1, privileged access is click 2. Valentina only costs us 1 because of her text. Her threat text is active. But yeah, so she costs 1. Privileged access is free. We're not going to get our trigger, our Seb trigger, but we would get a program. So we could get a fermenter for 1 and a crew for free. Yeah, you know what? Let's just do it. I don't think this is necessarily... we'll remove a tag to gain a credit. We'll privileged access and breach. Seb, we don't have a connection. Oh, we needed to install this cleaver as well. Oh, right. Oh, right. Well, let's just play for not losing the game. Which I think we've probably lost this game, if I'm being honest. But that's fine. That's A-okay. If we do this, we have no money. Oh, so we're totally boned. We're totally boned. Okay. I think we gotta play for them just baiting us. Seamless next. That's true. In theory, they would have played that. And then let's... I think we just remove the tag. I don't think we're in a good spot here, but I don't want them trashing our crew. And if they trash our crew, we're in a much worse spot because that privileged access then really didn't do anything. And we just wasted a bunch of resources and turns, but they're going to hit the Ikawa, which is pretty good. And yeah, they played this really, really well. I think their deck has a lot of ice, and they're able to really capitalize on us crewing. But the crew is also really big in the meta, so I feel like this is something that a lot of decks are worried about and trying to protect themselves from. But you know, it's kind of what it is. I've always loved ice destruction, like going back to Parasite because that's fun as hell. But I want to know. Ah, they had nothing in hand. Dang. Yeah, that's tough. They did really well. They played that perfectly, I think. Yeah, I don't know. We figured it was the Managarm. Yeah, I was worried about the Managarm. And I spelled it wrong. Oh yeah, I forgot a K. That's fine. But yeah, pretty good. Pretty good server. Pretty good server. Cool. Well, you know, it goes that way sometimes. We're gonna hopefully play some more games. So let's go get some more. Cool. So we'll get out of here. Standard. So let's see if I can get ourselves a good. I could play that Seb deck again, but I think we instead are going to see if we can get that startup going. So let's see if we can get a startup. We're gonna try and run, and we will do this. Yep. Great. See if we can get any takers this time around. So with that Seb deck, I mean, our opponent didn't have anything in hand, and with how many cards they burned through, like, I should have checked. At the end of the game, they only had like 15 cards left in the deck, right? Like, so, and they didn't have any agendas in their hand, and they only scored 3. So the 15 out of the 15 cards in their deck, they had to have had 5 more in there. And sometimes it just goes like that. Netrunner is a card game after all, so RNG isn't always the best for us. But I'm not necessarily mad. I think our game plan was right. I think attacking HQ there when we can rip up the server and make it unprotected, and they're trying to push, I think it makes sense for us there to try and get in there and see if we can find, because we hadn't seen any other agendas, right? Like, until that second, or excuse me, until that Ikawa was scored, we had only seen one other agenda. I didn't have any. I didn't score anything in that game. And our opponent had just the one off-world office. So we hadn't seen any agendas really all game. I just think that was a bit of unfortunate luck on our side, but it is gonna go that way sometimes. We'll see if we can get any takers on this. And just like last time, we'll spend a few minutes, and if we don't have any luck, we'll see what we can do and switch over. So I should actually see what my startup decks are, or standard decks are, excuse me. So this Seb deck, oh wow, I really didn't plan to make another standard deck. We do have this. I've been playing this Epiphany deck for a long time. Epiphany's kind of been a pet project of mine. So while I'm not playing like super competitive standard decks, I am having a grand old time playing things like Epiphany, despite my my win-loss record on JNet. And this is a deck that is honestly, like, it's so hard to play on JNet because the triggers, the way that the triggers line up is they're really, really specific, and the ordering is just a lot of clicking and a lot of very, very clicky, very tactile stuff. So easy to get wrong, and it can be very, very tricky to get right, even if you even if you play everything perfectly. It's a hard deck to pilot. I like the mind game of knowing what's on top, and maybe we might end up just jumping into that, honestly, because people don't really want to seem to play startup right now, which is a bit of a bummer. I was hoping I would be able to practice some of my decks for tomorrow and get these set up, but you know, not everyone wants to play standard or startup, excuse me. See what we can do. No, I do. We could also go and make some changes to that sub deck, but I don't think that one's gonna go very far. I think that sub deck is a bit rough. So let's yeah, I think we're gonna switch and go back to some more standard here. I feel a little bit weird about joining people's games because I don't know if they want to be on YouTube. So I'm just going to make my own here. And we just ran. Let's try running again. Let's try that Seb deck. See if we can get any better luck. Oops. Whoops, whoops, whoops. Inside man. There we go. Get our Seb deck. All right. So Wheels, Atea. Okay, so Wheels probably isn't going to be our best thing. 2 breakers. Eye for an eye. I don't think this is it. Did I keep? Oh no, I kept. Oh no, I didn't want to do that. Oh no. Oh no, friends. We made a mistake. That's okay. It's okay. It's okay. We'll get through it. We'll get through it. We have breakers. We have breakers. Breakers are good, right? I mean, if cards are just money and breakers, that should be good. I would have really loved to get a cheeky early eye for an eye against Atea and just ruin whatever they got coming, but nope. Not today. Not today. Let's draw. And let's draw. 2 Devil Charms. Great, great, great. Everything is... I would really love to keep Eye for an Eye with Strike Fund. I mean, we could just Eye for an Eye and force a res and see what happens, I guess. And then if we get in and we're tagged, we can play our Hannah. We can do some nonsense. I'm assuming... Oh, man, if that's a Sai Santan, I'm going to be real sad. I'm going to be big sad if that's Sai Santan. You know, let's just YOLO. Let's just see what happens. We kind of already goofed it, so we should pay more attention to the buttons that we click. It's an always good lesson, too. Don't read. Read the card. Read the button. Smartest move you can make in this game. Tattoo Bola. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. And because that didn't cost us anything. Oh, it did cost us. Whoops. Well, let's just charm. Kind of get some things cooking. Similarly, that only costed them 1 credit, but Vovo makes sense in Atea. I expect we're going to see a lot of these sysops. The sysops are the upgrades that can bounce from from server to server. So we're going to see Vovo, and we're going to see Adrian Seiss. I expect both of those will be in this deck. Because Adrian's really good to protect your servers. And in something like Atea, where you can also move it after you install it, because, you know, like Vovo, as you just saw, got to move. Adrian also has a similar trigger, which is so nice for Atea. It's really, really dangerous. And Atea is doing the Atea thing. So, our best bet is... Oh, that's pretty good. Okay, both of these are pretty good. Let's try and get... I do want a Hannah. I also really need money. I think we're just going to play this for money. Let's run R&D. And maybe we should just click for some credits because these are expensive. Mindscaping. Okay, that's fine. I think I don't want to play the steel skin, but I can't just sit here clicking for credits and clicking for cards. So as much as it pains me to do, I think we have to click the burn the steel skin to get some card draw next turn. Otherwise, we're just gonna die a slow death, and that's not gonna get anybody anything. Even with this start, even with this not ideal start, I don't think that's gonna be the answer here. Okay, so Mindscaping the top of R&D, so probably not going to be a good target there this turn, which is fine. We just know we don't have to spend our clicks. We don't have to spend our clicks going over there and checking that out, so that'll be really good. Guess our opponent's not liking that. Maybe that's Charlotte's brutal though. Having that keep staying up is really, really rough. Just because Charlotte, this is actually what my Wayland deck uses, was Charlotte, which I would have loved to show you all, but Charlotte is just is just gas. She's just so good, especially with Lacosta. So when your turn begins, removing a hosted advancement counter to gain 4 and draw a card. That's already great. At instant speed, you can trash her and spend a counter to gain 3. Also great. Okay, so installing a server 1 instead and trashing a card. All right, so let's start. Let's do what we said we're gonna do, huh? Okay, friend of a friend. That's good. That's good. Crew's good. We can install friend of a friend. These are all nice little things that we have going on. And Hannah's really good too, because then if we are unsuccessful... Okay, all right. You know what, friends? I think we might have ourselves a nice hand, finally. How much does Charlotte cost to trash? 2? Sure. Let's try and get in. What bad type of thing are they gonna do? Hold on. Do we want to play crew first? I think we do want to play crew first. Oh, but we also are gonna want to trash this Lacosta. We gotta trash that crew. Oh, but we can buy Aban's this server. But if we buy Aban's, then we can't crew. See, this is the problem. So I think 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's force the res now, because we're just going to give him gas. Let's crew and run server... Oh, no, not run. Hannah server 2. Because if we're stopped, we get another click back and we get an install. So it's actually really, really strong for us if this isn't successful. Okay, so Thimble Rig. We can counter it. We definitely don't want to charm it. We can crew it. But if we crew it, we don't have money, which is a problem. So let's just let this fire. We will install this friend of a friend. Oh, we're going to be 1 credit short, huh? Okay, we're going to install friend of a friend, and then we will just use the friend of a friend to get rid of the tag and get some money back. So they're going to get the Charlotte again, which isn't ideal. Again, it's just fuel for them. It's just so good. Charlotte's really, really good. Combined with Lacosta, because Lacosta gives them the free advancement counter. So they're not paying for the advancement counter. They're not paying the time for the advancement counter. And then they're just able to be Charlotte and turn that free stuff into 4 credits and a click. So talk about click compression when it doesn't even cost you a click to do. It's just all fuel, which is why we want to pressure this. I still think we want to pressure this. The Thimble Rig isn't good. It's not really going to keep us out. Because we do also have the Buzzsaw, which is the code gate breaker. It's our decoder. But our problem is we want a Devil Charm to trash this stuff. Or excuse me, we want a Bahia Bands to trash the things in that server. Which, in essence, will save us some money. But we still need to be able to get in. So crew costs 2 with a charm. So 2 for this, 1 for that, plus... so we're at 3, 7 to install the Buzzsaw, 8, 9 to play the Bahia Bands, and then we need 2 more. So we need 11 credits to blow this server up, essentially, which is which is more than we have. Daily cast is good. All right, so let's run server 1. Let's use our Hannah. Let's see what nonsense we got here. We have some money, so we can trash stuff. This could just be a trap too, which... Another Lacosta. Which is not great. No action. And an NGO front. So we'll trash the NGO front. So they might be trying to switch Charlotte servers at the end of the day, but they also don't know what R&D is, so let's go check R&D. Okay, we'll trash the NGO front. Let's check R&D. Ugh. Biofall. Man, I really need to trash that.
I think we got to trash the Bio Vault. Even though now we don't have money to play our daily casts. Oof, that's tough. That's tough. I don't know what the answer is, though. I don't know. Do we not trash the NGO? Maybe not trashing the NGO is right. Because they do have 10 credits and Charlotte. So, yeah. Yeah, I don't think we should have worried about that so much. Just because it's putting us down. It really put us down tempo-wise to not get that daily cast, not get the daily cast down. And now we are so far out of our window to put pressure on server 2 that this is going to be a big problem. But I think we just need to money up. Ultimately. Not having any money is really hurting us. Really quite badly. So let's just daily cast and gain some money. This isn't good. You can argue that we should have handed server 1 just to see, because it's free. It's a free click. Yeah, you know what? We should have. I think we probably should have handed server 1. Obviously, they're not going to put an agenda down, but they could put something else. It could be another upgrade. It could be another Vovo. Well, maybe not another Vovo. Oh, and they're reworking their server too, which is smart. Thimble rigging to rearrange the server is also really good. And yeah, here they're just building up. Not being able to pressure this Charlotte early. They're just going to be able to run away and have all the economy in the world. We don't have a pinhole threading in this deck, which is a card that really, I feel like, should be in everything for a competitive deck. And just because it would solve this Charlotte problem. And right now, they're just running away with it. Like 18 credits, we have 3. And look at this board state and look at our board state. It's like the difference is really night and day. And I think we should be finding a way to fit pinhole in here. But the other side of this is they don't have anything. They don't have anything going on either. So, and we have our answers, really. We have a crew. We have a few breakers. We don't have money. That's what we're doing right now. We're clicking for credits and letting our podcast, our daily cast go. So hopefully we can get to a point where we can contest servers. But this start isn't, I don't think is exactly what we wanted in a perfect world. But that's fine. Again, can't stress enough how much a pinhole would help this matchup. Looks like Dead Tax is here. Our opponent's thinking about it. Or they might have stepped out to grab a drink or something. Who knows? Thinking about it. All right. Getting the Rashida. It's worth noting we can also pressure HQ here. Like it's interesting because we have the breakers. Like we have some answers, but what we don't have is money. Which does make it a bit harder, and they're just going to continue to make this tower out of server 2. And R&D. So they're ready. It is reading like they do not have anything in HQ, or they're daring us to do something about it. And I don't want to spend a crew to get rid of a Tattoo Bola. I mean, I guess we could, because Tattoo Bola just does its thing anyway, and if they swap it out with an ice from their hand, it's not ideal for us. But I just don't think they have anything. I legitimately think if they had something, they're going to force it here. And they advanced her Charlotte extra. When did they do that? Wow, I must have done that last turn. Okay. Era's good, but there's no threat. Okay, so Manuel would also be really good. Manuel would help us out here. So let's draw another Bahia Bands, which can be used to draw. Could also be used to install some of this stuff slightly cheaper. We can use it to blow this stuff up. We have 2 Baya bands now, so I think we might just use it to blow some things up. We can't clear tags here either. We could draw again. Let's draw again. Valentine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we have a bunch of cards in our hand. Too many cards in our hand, you could say. If we play Iru and use Iru, then we can install something for free. You know what? Let's do that. Let's install Iru and use Iru. I will install Valentina, paying 2 less with Sebastião. We will breach archives. We will trash the Biovault, and we will just end our turn. So getting rid of the other Biovault's pretty good. I think that's 2, right? 2 Biovaults gone, which is always nice. Oh, I see. She didn't... Okay, our opponent just didn't use Charlotte last turn because they were sheeted. That makes sense. They didn't want to just dump 5 extra cards in their hands, which I suppose is a reasonable thing to do. That's what they were considering before their turn began. And protecting archives. This is good, actually. Having them protect Oh, 2 cards. Okay. Good, good. There's a lot of ice. Wow, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 ice. And still nothing is scored. Still nothing is scored. Interesting. Very, very interesting turn. The Baya Bands is good to remove the tag. Let's draw. Not enough money, though. That's certainly a thought. You know, I think it's a lot. I think it's a lot. And now they protected their archives, so we don't have a ton of stuff. They're like thimble rigging up. They're just causing chaos. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's you know what's net positive? Baya Bands. Baya Bands is net positive. Because we are going to remove a tag, which gains us credit. And now we couldn't trash. We know one of these. We don't know the other. I don't think it's worth it to worry about another unresed Lacosta. So I think we just need cards. Let's do this. Rashida, we'll trash her. We won't do anything about Lacosta. We now have a bunch of cards that are not helpful. Hooray! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have it has a nice little counter there. I just can't read. So we're in a way. We need money, and we do have 3 devil. Well, we do have 3 devil charms. We do have 3 devil charms. Whenever you breach our need or archives, I would love Manuel as well. Rough. I think we are going to end up pitching. Just gain some money. I think we pitch it privileged and a devil charm. The Baya Bands might have been right, but I think the Baya Bands is a bit more flexible than the other cards are. And we have double privileged access. We could have also, arguably, trashing the 2 privileged access was right. Because they have this stuff going on here. Oh, they trashed that. Okay, so they trashed the Lacosta, put something else there to install ice there. Or not. Man, I really want to know what is in front. I mean, I guess it doesn't matter. Truthfully, I don't think it matters what is in front of that thimble rig, because we can trash it. So let's start turn. Let's get our money. They have a lot of stuff in archives. And if we take a tag, we don't get any of our benefits right now. And, oh, so they trashed the Charlotte. Okay, so they install advance. So they trash the Charlotte. They're signaling that they have something. I think then we want to pressure. I mean, we could run there for free. Take a tag. Doesn't really help. I think getting some of these down. I don't really want to run HQ. I think the Buzzsaw might be better. Let's Buzzsaw. We'll draw. Let's Iru. Sadly, I don't have a connection to benefit from that. But we can threaten blowing up whatever is in front. Sadaka. Oh. Trash a resource, look at top 3 and range them. You know what? I think we're just gonna... We have another Devil Charm. Let's just get rid of that thing. Let's just get rid of this Sadaka. Counter. And we will break with our Buzzsaw. I do think we run back here too. I think we run back because there's... It's been so long and nothing is there? That doesn't sound right. We're not doing... Oh my god, there's still no threat. What is this world? Oh, and they swapped the Thimble Rig. Okay. So... Oh, that's true. I didn't think about it. Okay. Let's just Solidarity Badge. And hopefully we can start getting some more card draw for free here if we're going to end our turn tagged. What do we got? Bacterial. Okay. This is going to be a minute. So Bacterial basically is so much control. They can go rearrange a lot of their deck. Rearranging the top 7, trashing whatever is really, really strong. It's really, really strong. To trash 0, add 0 cards and arrange the top 7. Okay. So they just rearranged. But now we do have threat, but there's a new thing there. But we need a crew. I think crew is the card that we're looking for here. So let's draw. Let's draw. Manuel is also good. Manuel's also really good. I want to strike fund, and I think we just got to gain a credit. We're very poor. We're very poor. I don't think clearing the tag matters. Because all these are connections, so if they want to trash it, it's going to cost them some stuff. Although I guess their cards in hand don't particularly matter too much. I need a turn. So they install advance. Okay. All right. So, our question is... Did they trickle? I don't think they have anything in HQ, or else they would have pushed it longer. They definitely could have something in archives. We don't have any money, which is not ideal. We don't have enough money, I guess. I would love a crew. Draw for crew? Nope. Nope, nope, nope. No crew. No crew for us. Manuel's really good. We just don't have a way to do it. Bayou Bands could remove the tag. I would love Nuka. It's a little not helpful. I'm trying to set up a turn. Okay. Okay. That's good. That's good. Do we Bayou Bands? It costs us 1 credit. No, we do that next turn, I think. I think the Bayou Bands is for next turn. So I think we're just going to gain a credit and turn. We're not going to need the Nuka. Instead of breaching. We're not going to need the privileged access. We will need the cleaver. Man. Manuel could do work. Steelskin could do work. Bayou Bands I intend to play. I need the cleaver. Need the devil charm. Steel skin it is. Think that doesn't feel good. That's not a decision. That is not a decision I would normally make, but that's the one that I think we have to make right now. They're threatening to score out in this remote, which is pretty impenetrable to us right now. Oh, no. Ow. Yeah, that was about worst case scenario. I think that was about as bad as it could be. I do. I really do. Okay. Bridge additional card. All right, so let's buy a bands. Server 1. Let's breach. We need cards, so let's draw. Oh, man. What? We're so good. We're so good. Okay. Great. Good. So if we install... We can install crew for 1, but if we Eru, if our plan is to Eru, we're already going to be able to install a crew. So I think then we... Oh, no, we do want to install a card because we also need this Devil Charm and the Manuel. So let's install a card. Let's install the Devil Charm. Click a card. Sure. Charlotte. Don't care about Charlotte. Lacosta. Don't care about Lacosta. We have other things to worry about. And that's winning the game. We have 3 clicks. I want to install Manuel, run with Eru, run archives. I think that's our answer. Manuel. Oh, we have no... Oh. We still have the tag, so we can't do it that... Oh, we can remove the tag with Hannah. Oh. You know what? Yeah, that is our answer. So then we will Hannah to remove the tag. Then we will Eru to install the crew. Cool. And we got 2 clicks. Cool. This worked out. So this is going to let us see 3 cards from R&D, and then we'll be able to hit archives. Are they just letting us in? They are. Okay. An enemy. And Geo, don't care. Spin Doctor, don't care. Let's run. Let's just run archives. Pretty good. Pretty good. GG. Didn't really have a... Got out of here. Wish I could have asked them some questions. I want to know if they had anything. Like, it's crazy to me that they didn't have any other agendas. Although I suppose if this is... It's just got to be all 5 threes. They play 2 Fuji assets, so they're probably on 3 Fujis, 3 Bacterials. That's 9-18. And then do they play a 2-pointer and just like really, really grind the game? But if they don't have anything in HQ... We saw 3 cards in R&D, and we couldn't steal any of them. So then, are they all... I don't think they had anything in their hand because they didn't have it, so they just buried it? When was that? Let's actually find out. I want to find out where the Bacterial... What turn was this? So that was turn 10 that they scored the Bacterial. And then that got him 7 cards. I don't think they really drew after that. And then with the... When did I do this? Spin... What turn was this? All this nonsense. Turn 12? So 12, 11... So they scored turn 10, 11, 12. So I guess they knew what those cards were? I suppose that's fair with the bacterial, and they just buried it? I'm not sure about that one. That's kind of a weird thing. So let's dip out of here. Let's get out of this game. Leave game. Learning HB. That's always nice. Love seeing that. We're gonna do our ye old get fishing for startup games. Do the thing. We're gonna fish for the game that I intended to play. And next time we do this, I'll make sure to have some more standard decks for y'all. All right, so we're gonna start up. I would love to run at this, honestly, any side. At this point, I'll take whatever. I'll show you guys my Wayland deck. I'm excited about it. I actually think the Wayland deck is better. I felt better about it, so I wanted to test the deck I wasn't feeling nearly as good about, which is that Arasana deck. And hopefully we can kind of at least get in one game. I'd really love to get in a game. All right, hey, now we're cooking. And it's a runner deck. How about that? Sweet. All right. So we got a lot of cards. We got an Urban Art, which is pretty good. We got a Slap, which is good. Slap plus Art and Gamble. All of those are pretty nice, but we don't love our Conduit and Umbrella. NBN, oh, we're going to be tagged as heck. We're going to be tagged as heck. So let's, I think we mulligan this. Okay, I like that. Telework's going to give us a little bit more consistent money over the hedge fund. Burner's some really nice pressure. Cool. So I'm kind of tempted. I want to see if we can force some action on server 1. If we can force them to res something and then we can go in and burner, that's pretty good. So let's Sachi this thing. Actually, we don't have to do it that way. We're going to run server 1, Arasana, Sachi. There. And they didn't let us do our thing. So they know. That's all good. All good. Ari's a really hard ID to play on Jinteki because of this. Which is, you know, kind of is the name of the game. Cool. So that's going to fire. That's fine. We got our money out of that, so that was still essentially a click for a credit. We will burner. Hedge Fund Sansan Hansei review. Hansei review, huh? All right, curious. So so weird. So weird. Okay. Obviously, they're not worried about the money. So I think we bottom the Sansan and we put the Hansei on top. And let's just clear the tag. I don't want them to blow up our telework. So I think we're just going to remove the tag and draw. Oh, strike. That's nice. That's actually really good. Because if they strike... Oh, and advance that, huh? Curious. Curious. Okay. So my guess is that the other card in here is going to be an Amaze Amusements. Which is going to give us even more tags. Because it is NBN. That makes sense to me. So we can get in with the Cleaver. If that's a tomorrow's headline, they could have scored it. If that's an off-world, it's a bit annoying. We could telework, play telework, use telework, Cleaver, run. And then we end up with more tags. We could Wild Strike. I think we're just gonna... let them do a thing. Let's give them a choice. So we're going to strike, and they can give us money or give us cards. And if they just give us cards, they did give us money. Okay, I'm not mad about that. So we can actually probably pressure... Run. If we run R&D to make sure it's not like an end of the line or something, run R&D, install cleaver, run. Yeah, let's just do that. Because then if we're tagged, I don't think it's going to matter. Ping. All right. So then I think we definitely install cleaver and we'll run server 1. We'll break our ping. Yep, an amaze. That's fine. That's what we expected there. We'll steal that. That's cool. Give the runner 2 tags. Do we care about this? Suppose we do. They're going to gain some money out of it. Oh, they drew cards. That's clever. That was smart. That was really smart. I always forget that NBN can do that. And especially when they have money, it's probably the wiser, definitely the wiser of the moves. But now they're in a bit better of a spot. So we can install telework, use telework, and clear 2 tags, which is slow. We knew they draw a ping. I think we install telework, we use it. Oh, I didn't math that. I did not math that. Whoops. Whoops. None of that was ideal. Do we remove the tag? I don't think... No, because they would have done it, right? They would have done it? Yeah, let's just draw. Let's just draw. If they want to trash or telework, we can't stop them, sadly. So, just kind of got to live with it. I don't really have a good solution. We kind of knew that. They did do it. That's fine. The sure gamble is going to help us a little bit. It wasn't so bad. Is going to be that way. Count the things. Count the credits is always smart. So let's draw. Great. Credit, and sure gamble. Get out of this rut. And then we can clear these tags. Well, I think we diesel. We diesel, clear tags. Kind of try and get ahead a little bit. Diesel, drop, shutdown. I don't think the shutdown's going to do a whole lot against this, sadly. So do we take the free access? Yeah, I think here we can take a free access. I think we'll check R&D. Great, and clear tag. Next work, we'll slam that telework down and start using that one. E-shutdown, I don't think this is going to be very good in this matchup, if I'm being honest. I just don't think it's super relevant, because most of NBN's ice are cheap. Very, very inexpensive. Installing that is pretty reasonable. So they're probably trying to public trail. I'd have to assume that their game plan is public trail orbital, or at least that is a game plan. So install telework and use it. Let's draw. Aesop's isn't bad. It isn't what we want. It isn't what we want. I think we just gain a credit here. We could install the pawn shop, but we don't want to necessarily let them know that we have it. Because we're not, or I mean, I guess it doesn't matter that they know we have it. We're just not going to use it next turn. So I would rather seamless launch. Okay. Okay, seems good. Seamless launch the Beal, so that's a 3-point Beal. And that means they are now winning the game, which is pretty decent for them. It's not bad. We got them to use some resources. I have a feeling they want to push more. So let's run HQ. Let's see if we can... Cool. We'll encounter. We'll break. Breach. Spin. I do think we trash the spin. Let's clear the tag and let's get Aesop.
So with Aesop's, we're gonna trash this telework. That saves us a click. So a click now for a click later. We could also consider getting rid of this Sachi, because this Sachi isn't doing anything super interesting. Hostile review trash a card from HQ and gain some money. Install the root server one. Okay. Goodbye telework. All right. So we can break the ping. We can break all of this. We have a slap vandal. I don't think that's going to be anything that's too bad. I do think that they have another amaze in server 1, so if we do push there and start to go there, we're going to get some more tags. But they could also have if the amaze is relevant, then it's an agenda, you know? So that's always fun to think about. Do we do it first then? I mean, if they blow it up our Aesops, I'm not super sad. Could be worse. Yeah, let's run server 1 because we have a slap Enigma. Okay, we will use Ari to install the slap vandal on Enigma. We'll encounter. So it's 1/1. We lose a click. We have 2. Then we have 2 tags, and we technically do have the ability to clear the tags. But I think that's okay. And we'll break. Granted, this could also just be a bait, since they know we can get in. Yeah. Oh, it's an amaze. They're rezzing it, so that seems to indicate that there's something. Steal the Beal. Sansan. No, I don't have the money for it. I'm not going to deal with the amaze anymore. They don't have... I'm sure I'm going to have to score 2 more 2-point agendas here, but I don't think the amaze is really worth my time. They could get 2 into the lines here, so I think the smart move is going to be to draw and remove 1 tag, just so we can't get double end of the line, which would murder us, which seems bad. So avoiding murder, usually good, and we'll just kind of play this slow. If they did trash the Aesops. Okay, that's fine. So going lower, making it so I'm not worried so much about that Sansan. But now they also know that if I wanted to break this, it's going to cost me a click because I don't have my urban art up or anything. So let's, man, no money hurts. And honestly, now that I have this muse, it would be pretty sweet to get, oh, that's good. That's really good. We have a tag. Okay, so remove tag, urban art. Get our art set up, start pulling these, get these programs, these Trojans off of our ice, make it so we can reinstall them for free. This is kind of a really, really important card for Ari because we just need something to make our installs cheaper. We can't afford this Cleaver or Umbrella or Echelon. Are you kidding? Who do you think? We're not rich. Who do you think we are? Playing a game, just gaining money. Okay, so then I don't think this stuff in Amaze is, I don't think there's anything there. We could do the Sachi. Sachi's not bad, but if that's something, I just think they're going to be in the run. I just think they're going to be in the run deck. I do. I don't think there's anything too bad in this. Famous last words. So we'll run R&D. I'll Ari the Sachi for free with the urban art. Cool. Mm-hmm. Enigma. All right, well, so it does cost us something.
Fire away. Which is a click for a few credits. I mean, it kind of comes out in the wash. It just feels bad. But we do have this umbrella, which is kind of cool. So I think we could draw... Ooh, that's great. That's great. So we can pull the slap back next turn. And then install... What did they do? Just gain some money. Okay, great. Good, I like this. So we will start turn. We're going to urban art this slap. Now we have 3 credits there. We will take clicks. We're going to gain a credit. Sure gamble. Then umbrella. And let's run R&D. Let's get weird. Let's get weird. And we'll break. Yes. Oh, okay. Cool. And we reach. Another Enigma. Okay. Not great. I'm assuming this Enigma is not long for this world, because replacing, you know, an Enigma on the innermost with another Enigma on the innermost. Ooh, what do we got? Clever. That's pretty good. Oh, now I have to deal with it. Now I have to deal with it. Okay. So, we don't have money. This is a problem. We don't have money. Oh, no, we have money. That isn't really the problem. The problem is we don't have a way to deal with the Enigma unless we install, like, the Sachi on it. But I also don't have the way to deal with the Sand. So we can keep putting pressure on HQ, because they can fast advance anything out of here, so getting some kind of solution here might be good. I think we just got to make sure that they don't get into... Don't draw an agenda. Egret, okay. Okay. So we can Sachi that and then run. And then we can egret. If they don't stop it... So that's going to cost us 1 credit to get both of these. That costs us 2. That costs us 1. So that's 5 credits. So we need 10. So we don't have that money. We don't have the money. Now the Sachi gets us... nets us back some. So I think we can credit... Do we just want to do it? I do think we need to blow up that sand. It just really hurts. Really, really hurts. Sure. We'll Sachi with that. Do that. We'll run server 1. And the tag. Okay, so the urban art is almost certainly going to go. Good thing there won't be any money on it. We will use Ari. I could install the slap, which is a bit cheaper. Oh, that's true. I don't need that to be the egret. So let's install the slap. Oh, whoops, there. For free. And... oh, approach, encounter. Then we will break. Draw a card. Continue. Continue. Break. Breach. Get the Sand. No action. And turn. And we will get rid of this shutdown. E-shutdown is dead. If we could shut down that Sansan, I would be all about that. Sadly, we cannot. Shutdown is not the muse. Shutdown is limited to ice. As I said, sometimes this is what you get when you try and make a cheeky deck. Like, I guess I could run HQ and shut down an Enigma or something, but it's like the benefit isn't there. You know, it's not, especially like I would have to move the Sachi and then do it, and if I shut down the ping and they res it again, I just get tagged again. It's not really the solution that we want. So I'm gonna pull back this Slap because Sachi is not helpful. We'll take our clicks. The Aesops can be good. I think 2/2, so that gets us some credits. Oh, we don't have MU. We're also having MU issues here too, because we can't install the Muse and something else without blowing up the Sachi, which isn't the end of the world. We're just poor. We have no money at all. I think we just do it. Stack. Oh! Whoops, we don't have Coalescence in this. Well then. I think that's just a nice little mistake. We'll Pisha Shaw the ping. We'll trash the Muse. Now we have no money, so let's gain some credits. Yeah, I don't think that was good. Having the Muse, not having the Coalescence. I could have asked to undo it. Yeah, it didn't matter. I can't spell that stupid card. Coalescence. But you know, no Coalescence will kind of do that. Money is a problem. What are we looking for here? No, I mean, we didn't get anything to reduce our costs. Like, no spree, 2 of the E-shutdowns. I mean, obviously that Muse was not what we wanted to see. That really hurt and set us back. I mean, I don't think we really had a solution. We could have just kept trying to run the Amaze, which probably was right. I mean, honestly, I think I shouldn't have gotten off of this just because they knew we could get in. I just assumed that was a bluff, but clearly not. That was it. But yeah, I think I don't think this is it. I mean, I don't think sec testing is it. I just don't think Ari is. I don't think Ari is going to be the answer in startup. I mean, I know this isn't built particularly well, but it's not. It just, I feel like we don't have access to a lot of the things that we want. Like, I would love environmental testing, because this deck does install so much, but it's not legal in startup. And like, in an Ari deck or something like this with Urban Art, where you're like pulling your cards back and then reinstalling them and installing multiple programs a turn. Environmental testing goes a really long way for economy. And even though they did trash the Aesops, like, we didn't manage our economy super well this game, but I think there's just a better way. There's a better way to do this out of Ari. So let's leave here. Let's see if we can get pop in. Boop, 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 boop. See if we can get another startup game going here. See if we can get any better luck. As far as the actual game goes, though, I think having... Yeah, I'm not sure, really. Like, pressuring the remote, I could have kept pressuring the remote there, but even if we get in, we don't have any money, and I think it does cost us almost our entire credit pool in order to actually get anything done. And then they can just keep putting something in that server until we don't have anything. And with the second amaze there, we would have been tagged again, so then we would have never been able to install any resources, which, granted, with their ice, probably wasn't important. But I mean, okay, so here's the thing. Here's the thing about Umbrella, right? Umbrella seems really, really cool to me. I think it's a great idea for a card, something that interacts more with Trojans and wants you to do that. It's a cool combo with Egret, but the cost of these cards is so prohibitively expensive. Like, yeah, I get it. Umbrella's really good if you, like, when you can use it, but in order to use it, you need to have Umbrella and another card installed. And it has to be a specific type of program installed. And it takes another MU. So, at minimum, in order to make Umbrella work, I need to use 2 MU, so it's a 2 MU decoder for 1 piece of ice, effectively. And I mean, sure, if I, have more Trojans installed, then it's for more pieces of ice, but now we're talking, what, 3 MU to break 2 pieces of ice? That's bad. Compared to, like, this cleaver that we played in this same matchup, we broke, like, 4 pings through, well, not 4 pings. I think we broke 3 different types of pings with this cleaver. So, the cleaver only took 1 MU, and it was cheaper to break. Now, because even if that Enigma only had 1 subroutine, or even if it had 2 subroutines, it did have 2 subroutines, but it's the same strength as, or try that again. The cleaver could have, broken a similarly strength barrier for less than the Umbrella, even despite the strength. So it's just like, it's just not good. I think we can safely say that Umbrella is not it. I will admit, I did have another version of this deck prior where I was also trying to use Monkey Wrench, and I think that is a bit, it's cuter. It's a cuter solution to kind of achieve that same thing, but then still Monkey Wrench combos with other cards, because Monkey Wrench itself, here, let's get there. Oops, where am I? So if we want to see Monkey Wrench, like, Monkey Wrench by itself doesn't do anything, and especially with Influence, a 2 Influence card that doesn't do anything by itself is a problem, and it costs 2. There's just, like, I don't know. I would love Trojans to be a thing. I always loved the Kaesa programs, and if you're not familiar with Kaesa, these are old cards. This was from back in the day. Second Thoughts. Yeah, look at that icon. We'll pull these up in a second. I just wanted to check. Cool, great. Make these bigger. View as full cards. So, like, these chess pieces were, I guess, the original Trojans, you could say, but you were moving these things across the board. They did really interesting things, and they moved in really interesting ways. And admittedly, like, I mean, Bishop is almost exactly like Monkey Wrench, but a bit jankier and more restrictive, because it only makes the ice that you're on have lower strength, but it also is free, but it's also free. So that goes a long way, and having something be free really matters. And even though it does take extra clicks. So it's kind of plus and downside here. Really, the only Kaesa program that saw play, and there was some janky stuff with Pawn that came out. Pawn and Exile had like a wacky combo at one point, I remember. But Knight. This card saw play in everything, because it's kind of actually similar to our Slap Vandal.
And really, I guess these Kaesas are, or the Trojans are the spiritual successors of the Kaesa, but we've always kind of had Trojans and cards that installed on other things too. This was just another variant of that. And I remember playing Rook too. Rook was cool. Rook was good in like a denial deck or headlock. Choke Reyna was always fun. Fun way to play. But that archetype, I don't know if you can still do it. Reyna's still around. Reyna's still around. Xanadu is still around. So some of these options you have to increase the strength are around, or excuse me, increase res cost are around. I just haven't seen a way to capitalize on it. And back in that time, Netrunner was a much slower game, so you could really get people in a bad way. It was a little bit harder to recover from low credits back then. So once you got someone in that hold, you could just keep them there with account siphon and vamp and all this fun stuff. So that was a really cool deck. Cool. So now we get to play our Wayland deck. I'm really excited for this one. I think this is a significantly better deck than our Ahri deck, but I might be speaking too soon, you know? I think this is okay. I love Charlotte. Install, advance. I would rather not have this. I don't care if they steal it, though. I think we keep it and push a Charlotte and see if we can kind of get something going. The Regulus good too. White space could punish them if it is the Charlotte, and it's kind of a pretty simple card. I don't think any of these really help us to get out there. So yeah, let's install the Charlotte. Let's install to protect her, and let's advance her and get some money back. So we ended up with 6. That helped us get some money with Wayland. We advanced a card with no counters on it. Gets us $2 back, so pretty nice. White space isn't a hard end to run, so if they get a bunch of money, in theory, they could get in. I just don't think it's super likely that they will do that. And trash it. And be able to trash it. But I guess we should never say never, huh? So what did they access here? Access tree line. Okay, so we'll res the Charlotte. We'll start our turn. We will use our Charlotte. Yes, please. Ice Wall, Spin Doctor, cool. So let's get ourselves protected, shall we? So Steve, we'll get a tree line in front of HQ for, or we could Logjam. Logjam's pretty good. I think we'll get this in front of HQ. Oops. We will get this in front of HQ. We will get this in front of R&D, and we will advance Charlotte to help keep us pushing forward. So this is, I mentioned it before, but this is really kind of the crux of this deck. This Charlotte is what we've built around, because when she doesn't have an advancement counter, we advance her and we gain a credit. That's good. Now we have an advanced card on the table that will either gain us 4 more credits and draw us a card like it's going to do right now, or we can pop it at instant speed and trash her to gain 3 and make the runner lose some resources. So this is going to be pretty helpful here. And this is really nice as well, because we are going to be able to start getting advancement counters on our cards. And the best way, I think we're going to install a new remote. We're going to install... Now, we want to move this somewhere else. So I think we're going to put this on server 1. We are going to advance Charlotte, and we're going to res Isaac, because we want to move him to R&D and get some advancement counters on our ice wall to make our ice wall bigger. Because right now it is a baby little ice wall, and we are we're not going to do anything about this. We'll just pop her. So here, this is exactly what I mean. We just baited out an inside job, which is great. There's no downside for us. And Oh, I just realized, I'm so sorry, friends, that my face has been above chat all day, so you have not been able to have all that sweet, sweet information. My mistake. We'll get better at this, since I've never actually streamed before, so this is all very, very new for me. Cool. So Leech, that's fine. We kind of want the Charlotte. So I think the solution here, let's res the Spin Doctor. Wow, and the Atlas. Okay. Let's nah, we won't. We'll just draw the card. And we got to get stuff in front of here. So this isn't quite an end the run exactly. So I think we're going to install in server 1. We're going to... oh. You know what? We're going to make that a slightly bigger piece of ice, I think. Yeah, I think we're going to logjam that. So we're going to install this over server 1. And we are going to install this in server 1. We will advance this card. We'll end our turn. We'll move Isaac over to server 1. And let's give our logjam some love here. Because it's not getting love itself right now. We just have that Charlotte in archives. And it's... that's fine. So they have some money. If we make them lose 3, they will have less than 6. So I will not res the logjam. Because I don't have any answer to that, just the leech. And they, yep, so we'll continue. Continue. We will res the white space. And counter. Great. Great. Perfect. Perfect. Exactly what we want. So now they don't have money anymore either. This is great. White space is really strong in a deck like this because we want them to be denied economically. And just this little like speed bump for, I mean, 5 credits because of that tread lightly. It cost us some more. 5, is it +2? +3, yeah, 5. So still worth it, I think. And man, I would love to do this. I think we let the Hermes, I think we're going to let the Hermes do some work because it's actually going to let us get these out of our deck or out of our hand. Oh. Okay. Or maybe not. Let's advance, advance, advance. Score. Yeah, it's fine. The Hermes is going to go. Take out the tree line. Oh, we're probably going to get doofed, friends, which is not my favorite thing in the world, but I think we just get rid of these 2 things. Isaac, has no advancement counters. I will not move Isaac, and we will let it run. Spin Doctor is gonna save our agendas if and when they run archives, but I think if they just run here, oh, they can't doof us, but they can get their ability, which is fair. I think to remove from the game, we're gonna remove the Dirty Laundry from the game. Because they are not in a position to play the Sure Gamble. So that makes that a better card for them to have. We'll remove this from the game. We'll get these 2 cards back. No further actions. Hide those agendas. Hide them agendas. They have a lot of leech counters, though. Crew? Is this a crew deck? This could be a crew deck. Seamless as well. Seamless as well. I think we should have kept that Basalt Spire, but... tis what it is. This lets us advance ice, which is nice. We could just hammer. Tag, install the resource piece of hardware. Yeah, you know what? Let's install that in front of HQ. Really, really punish. Then let's install this in server 1, Regolith, and we're trying to bait that. We don't want to res it. I can't advance anything, so I think we just gain a credit. And we will not move Isaac. I don't think we move Isaac. Now, we can't res the Logjam and the Hammer, which isn't ideal. Obviously, we can't protect both of them, since we can't res both of those servers. But the white space is already protecting this, and really, if they come in and trash the Regolith, it's not the end of the world. So it's just
getting them to waste time and money. And the Docklands Pass now. Okay, so now we probably wish we had something inside the hammer. Granted, we can destroy the Docklands Pass, so that's nice too. But I think they're playing as if this is an agenda, which it's not. So we have an Atlas, we have a seamless launch. I think install advanced and do that. No, I think we just kind of want to hit regolith a little bit because we need the money right now. We have the logjam. No. We have the logjam and we have the hammer, so that's just 12 credits of reses right there. So I think getting this going is going to be worth it. If we still don't have anything in a turn to put in that server, then I think we're just going to have to send the Charlotte. We could try and score the slash and burn, but we really don't want to. And they have money now too. So let's, what did they do here? Liberated. They just liberated. Hammer. We could stick another hammer there. Hammer over the remote is still really good. Hammer install. Yeah, I think we install hammer over server 1. I think we install Charlotte in server 1. We'll trash the regolith, and then we advance the Charlotte. And we will not move Isaac. Isaac can stay. He can make that logjam bigger. That's always fine. Because now here it's all about forcing this run. I mean, granted, any what's that word? Any icebreaker is going to be able to get through our stuff for relatively cheap because all of these leech counters. But I think that's okay. I think it's okay. Corroder? No way! Cool. Super cool. A core set card. This has been around since 2012, which is just wild. That's super, super cool. We'll res Charlotte. We'll start our turn. Mandatory draw. We'll use Charlotte. We'll do our Charlotte thing. Whoredom is super good. Code gate. Let's, how do we want to do this? How do we want to do this? So we will advance. We will protect. We will protect our archives with a tree line, because that's going to be some money. This ice wall isn't spectacular, so let's protect R&D and do we want to move that? I think I kind of do. I kind of do want to force them into this server. So let's move him to R&D, and I will give my Whoredom an advancement counter, which doesn't really do anything immediately. If I get a few more, it's pretty good. Ooh! The first time I encounter a Peach Slice. So we're not going to res hammer. We gotta throw an ice wall over that. You can remove the inside job from the game. Tread lightly is still pretty good. Yeah, that's good. That's good for them. That's the card we didn't want. We've had it for a long time. Oh, they sent our logjam? That's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. For Earthwise. Okay, so they're really moving at this point. They have a lot of momentum. Earthrise is going to give them a bunch of cards. And we can't purge this turn. Purging doesn't help us, really. I mean, we could. Purging gets rid of those, but I think with the alarm clock, they're just able to put pressure on it again. So I think we got to stick this ice wall over HQ, because that's going to burn the alarm clock trigger. And get let's get this up here. Yeah, let's just get this up here. Move Isaac. Yes. We'll move Isaac to server 1. We'll advance to log gym. Oh, there we go. Okay, cool, cool, cool. There we go. We lost connection for a second. No worries. Get that fixed right up. All right. Here we go. Oh, my apologies. Thought I had a stream error over there. Just trying to figure out what was going on. But it looks like we're good. Encounter. Gotta click stuff. My bad. There we go. Sorry, friendo. Pay 1. Pay 1. There's no further action. You're gonna continue? Continue? No, they jacked out. Okay. Yep. That's smart. They know that that's gonna cost them something. Then I don't think we res this. I think we just got to purge here. I mean, Unity's pretty good. Unity's going to get through this with 1, 2, 3, 4 credits. Unity, that's a sentry. Carmen, so they have all their answers. I think we just got to get it so it starts costing them money. I don't want to use Charlotte this turn. Yeah, and they know it's going to start costing money. I mean, this is still just 1, 2, 3 credits. So that's not the worst. What is this? Oh, white space is horrible now. Just 2 credits. Okay. So we will... Do we just want to purge? I mean, we don't have anything to get us tempo. Yeah, I guess we just purge. Move Isaac. Yeah, let's move Isaac to HQ. Now that ice wall, if they want to get in, is going to be much higher strength. Much higher strength. Sure. Oh, they just spent 2 clicks, huh? Okay. So how much is this going to cost? So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's 5 for them to deal with the hammer. Yeah, we'll res the hammer. That's fine. Make them spend 5 credits. There's nothing really in our hand that's super bad, so they can enjoy. The problem is here is that you get your sure gamble, they're going to get some money back. That's true. That is true. It is going to be a pretty decent discount. Yeah, our problem is we're not going to be able to keep them out at this point. We did not see any of our rushy stuff. So, or we didn't, we couldn't capitalize and draw any of our rushy stuff, I suppose is more accurate. But, yeah, it is what it is. I think, though, we want to make them keep increasing strength. So I think we're going to install the tree line in server 1. I think we are going to install in server 1. We'll trash her Charlotte. Do you want to advance her to gain a credit? Oh, I didn't even notice that our Isaac is gone. That's really unfortunate. It's actually really unfortunate. Yeah, I don't like that. I think we'll just advance this. Sure. Sure. Let's see what happens, huh? But, I mean, they have a ton of money. They've liberated there, too. So, I think... And we know that they have that other thing, too. So, if we res this... Yeah, we'll res it. It's also one less thing that they can now Hermes, so... Sure. Yeah, tread lightly. Okay. And they have a ton of money. So this is going to be a problem. And all these cost more. So this is going to be +1. Nothing. What do we got? How many different types? We have 2 types in here, which is not good. So this is going to be essentially 2 leech counters and a credit. This is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. This is going to be 2 leech counters and 3 credits. This is 5 credits. This costs 9 to res, though. I don't think we do that. I don't think we do that. Because that's just going to cost 3. So do we just do this? Yeah, let's just get the logjam up, I think. It's probably wrong. They're gonna score this, which is gonna be an issue. I thought we had the Isaac. That's my fault. Oh, continue to encounter. And yep, using those leeches. We do not have the money for the hammer. And it's just going to cost them 2 credits for that. Yeah, probably should have installed the Charlotte. Definitely should have installed the Charlotte with that play. I think we just got antsy. Yeah, this was bad. This was not a good play. We knew they had the tread lightly. We saw the liberated accounts. I think we just got too aggressive. This is kind of my playstyle. I play very, very aggressively, and it's clearly not not always the best. Not always the best move at all. So we need to do something about this. But I think at this point, I think we're a bit cooked. We don't have a ton of stuff available to us. They can just start putting pressure here. They don't have AI programs, so I think let's install server 1, let's advance, and let's I don't want to install. Oh, I should have trashed this white space. That's fine. Just gain the credit and trash this ice wall. Ice wall just starts now so far below like a reasonable thing. Ice wall and white space both like that. It's really good rushy early, but it's not good when we get to this point. What turn is this? This is turn 13. This deck does not want to live this long. I can guarantee you that. So, here's what it is. It do be like that. Let's see if we can dig out of it, though. I don't want to just give up and be resigned to losing. Let's see if we can make a play here and find a way to get through this. Because this is their second liberated account, I think. Oh, they're probably about to play a third. Ugh. Oof. Logjam, we don't have money. I will continue. Because they have money to beat all of this stuff. So I don't think it's worth it to res it. To res any of these things. Sure, that's fair. Res, trash. Get some money. Again, usually we want to try and make that cost a little bit more. We just don't have it. We do not have it here, friends. So we can install the basalt. We know we can't stop them. But if we just like play it cool, do you think they run it? I think they've only really been running advanced cards. All of our Charlottes too. Rough. You know what? Let's just see if it happens. I don't think we've actually had a card that we just installed without advancing. I don't know. Have they seen our seamless launches? Oops. Okay. They've seen it once. That was turn 11. That was a while ago. They probably know we have it. Sure. Yeah, it seems good. Yeah, we don't have anything here. We can just auto pass. You know what? Let's not auto pass. Stop. We'll res the logjam. We'll just make him do something, I guess. And this does get a lot bigger with all this stuff. So the tread lightly, or yeah, the logjam might not be the worst. Okay. So I'm not trying to take anything away from them. They played this super well. They knew when to run. They knew when they could pressure me and like when they were safe. So they absolutely killed it. Really, really good. Obviously, this was not ideal, but it is that way. You know, it is that way sometimes. Do be like that. No cards. That's that. Awesome. Well, I've been streaming for a few hours here, and as I said, it's been my first time, so I think I'm gonna call it here. I've also not won yet on stream, so that feels great. Really looking forward to that. But thank you everyone for watching and sticking with me this long. I really appreciate you stopping by and checking me out. I will be streaming more. Obviously, we have a lot to learn, so I am going to be doing this more often. This week, I'm going to be streaming on Friday around the same time at 2 p.m. Pacific time as well. And yeah, we're gonna come back. I'll let everyone know how it went at our meetup, and we gotta make some changes here. I think that's gonna be my project tonight. So I'll work on that, and hopefully I'll follow up with some good news, and maybe I'll have some stories about some wins tomorrow at our meetup. Thanks for sticking around. Thanks for sticking with us. I'll see you next time. Peace.